Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Allah Akbar. Deus nos aqui assim são tipo de um barrigo dá perguntar já Baruch ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Amen. Kyrie eleison. Civil Master Sabregatahi. Sabe Sata Bavantu Sukita. Pagabia. Umbuntu. Shabon. Aquaba. Upendo Naman. Sheshe. Kamusunida. Domo arigato. Lumayelo Bavantu. Takado Kashingu. Yabu Hindu. Blessings from the God. Atajama Yata Hanami. Aho.
Namaste, assalamu alaikum, shalom, ni hao, buenos dias, hisache, aquaba, welcome in, what up though? Today, we have a story from the Mahabarata. We actually have a few stories from the Mahabarata of Desi tradition, India. The Mahabarata is known as the longest poem, epic poem in human literature. We have 3 stories from this long poem. As we share the story today, we keep in mind of the principle of Shema. Shema is a Hebrew word coming from Israel, from the tradition and the teachings of Israel. It means to hear, but it is the beginning of a prayer that proclaims the oneness of God. And we share this as an understanding of the oneness of the universe, the connectivity, the interdependence that brings all beings of the universe together as uno, echad, ek, one. That's the principle we keep in mind as we share these stories from the Mahabarata. The first story is a story of a conversation between Duryodhana and Arjuna and Sri Krishna. So, many stories from the Mahabharata, long stories, but to be brief, Duryodhana and Arjuna are rivals, kin, cousins, but there's corruption. Duryodhana and his crew ain't doing nice things, and Arjuna says enough is enough, we got to stand up to it. So, a war is brewing between the crews, and Duryodhana and his crew is trying to get everybody on board on his side for the war, and Arjuna and his crew trying to get everybody on his side for the war, and they both approach Sri Krishna, the celestial being, the portent to get Sri Krishna on each one's side. So they arrive at the chamber where Sri Krishna is dozing. Duryodhana is the first to arrive there. And when Duryodhana arrives, he sits at the feet of Sri Krishna. And as he sits there, he thinks to himself, wait, what am I doing sitting at the feet? I should sit towards his head in a place of respect and honor. So that's what Duryodhana does. He goes closer to the head of Sri Krishna to be in a position of respect and honor himself before Sri Krishna. And later Arjuna arrives and he sits at the feet of Sri Krishna. When Sri Krishna wakes up, or pretends like he wakes up because he was awake the whole time. He wakes up and the first one he sees is Arjuna sitting at his feet in the position of humbleness, humility. And then Sri Krishna sees Duryodhana and says, "Oh, what y'all want?" He already knows. And both say, "Oh, we come to ask you to be on our sides because we got this thing going on. So we want your support." So Sri Krishna says, "Well, I saw Arjuna first, so I'm going to give Arjuna the first option what he wants." And Duryodhana said, "Oh, that ain't fair. I was here first." And Sri Krishna says, "It's true indeed, but Arjuna is the first one that I saw." Aha. So Arjuna is given a choice. Arjuna can either have the benefits of Sri Krishna's army, thousands of excellently trained men, skilled trained men, or Arjuna can have Sri Krishna on his side. And Sri Krishna ain't gonna do nothing. It's just gonna be a supporter, ain't gonna fight, ain't gonna do nothing, just support. And Arjuna thinks about it a millisecond, says, we want Sri Krishna. We don't want the armies, we don't want the thousands. We want Sri Krishna on our side. We want to be on the side of righteousness. We want righteousness on our side. And Duryodhana says, "Ha, foolish man, I ain't even going to argue about having the first choice because you done chose wrong. I'll take the army. I'll take the thousands." Funny man. So Duryodhana continues on his way. Arjuna continues on his way. And the lesson is had. In that sitting, Arjuna experiences victory by making the right decision. Rather than choosing the thousands, he's choosing the righteous. That's the first story. Story numero dos involves an ascetic, Roma Rishi, who lives in a forest, and he is bestowed with stewardship over the forest. And Arjuna and his crew visit the forest. And in visiting the forest, there is a command not to partake of one particular fruit that is in the forest. And there is eventually a calling on the part of Arjuna and his crew. One of the dear sisters in the crew sees the fruit, sees that it is benevolent, and convinces Arjuna and his brethren to partake of it. The trio. They do that. And as they do that, Rama Rishi gets angry. He's got tentacles extended from his hair like snakes. And he grabs on to Arjuna and his brethren. And he begins to impose his powers as protector. As he's doing this, Sri Krishna arrives, the celestial being, and Rama Rishi pays deference to Sri Krishna. And Sri Krishna goes up to Arjuna and says, "Yo, what's going on, Arjuna? How you doing? All right." And in seeing the reverence, the congeniality that is shared between Arjuna and Sri Krishna, the respect that Sri Krishna provides to Arjuna, Roma Rishi is compelled, is inspired, is enlightened to provide further consideration regarding Arjuna and his crew. And where before there is that vengeful inclination of imposing consequences against Arjuna, when Roma Rishi sees the compassion, the respect that Sri Krishna provides, Roma Rishi is also able to share that and see that towards Arjuna and provide compassion, patience, understanding, forgiveness for the transgression that Arjuna and his crew imposes upon the policies of the forest. So that's the second story. Número dos. Número tres. This is a story as the battlefield is manifest. By this point, the lines are drawn. Each crew has gotten its coalition in accord, and it's going down. They went through all the land, all the different kingdoms, the fiefdoms, the princedoms, and all them things, and they got everybody to choose sides, except for Udupi, the king of Udupi. The king of Udupi says, I ain't gonna be on this side, I ain't gonna be on that side either. But what I'll do is, I'll feed everybody on both sides. I'll be the caterer. So, Udupi, the king of Udupi, that's what he does. Every day the battle is had, and Udupi, known for the fine cuisine, tasty, is the caterer. As it is in those days, when the battle is done, the soleil is getting hit by the tilting of the earth. Each side retires to its own camp and has that meal, rests up for the next day. And so, in doing that, Udupi provides victuals for both camps. He's the caterer. And day after day, as the battle is being waged for a number of days, every day, the king of Udupi is able to make exactly the right amount of food. Day in, day out, the king of Udupi, the exact right amount of food. And they begin to say, yo, wait, hold up. How that is? You cooking for thousands. You got to make preparations way in advance before things even end up on a day-to-day. How you do that? How you know how many you make for? Like, how many? 1,000, 2,000, 7,000, 20,000? How do you know how much to cook for? Make all the preparations day in, day out. So the king of Udupi just says, yeah, I got a way. The king of Udupi says that each day he provides a meal for Sri Krishna. And in that meal, there is some peanuts, and there's some pudding, peanuts in the pudding. And when the king of Udupi takes the plate from Sri Krishna, when Sri Krishna is done eating, the king of Udupi counts how many peanuts Sri Krishna has. And in identifying the number of peanuts that Sri Krishna consumes in that sitting, the king of Udupi knows how many soldiers to prepare for the next day, and does so accordingly. That's the story from Mahabarata of Desi tradition, India, as we keep in mind the principle of Shema. to recognize, to awaken to our oneness. Namaste, assalamu alaikum, shalom, zaijen, adios, te chakris, sempin na asamurwo, kina ufred. One love and peace.
Hey. You're the same.
Ah, them talk about these stories. We do our best within these stories to optimize the legitimacy within the stories, our pronunciation, the language, the sources from which we derive the stories, and the manner in which we inform and inspire authenticity within the recipients of these stories to continue the legacy, the inheritance, the treasures of these stories. There are treasures. These stories are rich, and these stories have responsibility. We share these stories with the purpose, with the guidance of knowledge of self, to get a better knowledge of ourselves, an understanding of ourselves, a respect for ourselves and for each other, to better live in peace, harmony, prosperity with ourselves, with each other, with attunement with the Tao, the path, the way, the Dharma, the great mystery, the will of God. In any and all the ways we understand that. One universe, one love and peace.